Hey Nerf Nation, this is Alan from OC Nerf, and today we're going to go ahead and open up this Avengers Captain America Brigade blaster. If you caught my last video, which was actually my second to the last video now, the thrifting video where I demoed a shot of this, it went about a whole 2 feet. That's terrible. Even though it's made by Hasbro, it doesn't fit Nerf darts. As you can see here, the barrels are too short for the Nerf darts. They actually used a very different kind of dart. You can look up what those kinds of darts look like by Googling the Nerf Avengers Captain America Brigade blaster, or Hasbro blaster rather, not Nerf. I don't have any of those, and I don't really care to have any of those. They were pretty cheap plastic and pretty poorly designed. So what I'm going to go ahead and do is see if I can breathe a little bit of life into this blaster and give it a little bit of the Super Soldier Serum. So in order to do that, we're going to go ahead and first pop this thing open. So let's go ahead and do that. Okay, we've gone ahead and unscrewed everything. To note, once you get the slide off, there is another screw hidden underneath here, and then all the screws are fairly similar after that. Popping this open, and just the general look and feel of it is pretty much like a Maverick, with a few notable differences. So, if you look inside here, it's got the spring in the back just like the Maverick does. All the gear systems are here. Here's the catch, here's the trigger, and the reverse plunger tube, just like the Maverick. So what we're going to go ahead and do is we're going to take off this other half of the slide, holding on to that pin by putting that in place, and in there as well, and putting that off to the side so we don't lose it. Let's go ahead and remove this barrel as well. And let's go ahead and see if we can't pop loose this barrel system. Let's pop out this spring first. There we go. And the catch mechanism. Awesome. Let's not lose any springs. There we go. Okay. And I'm going to go ahead and pop off this. Alright, so the first thing I want to go ahead and do is take a look at what we can do with this barrel. Looks like we might have a couple of screws here and a few screws here. Once you pop off the 3 screws in the back and the 2 up here, you will then be able to get out all of the air restrictor pieces. And push that to the side. And we can see here the screw posts, or sorry, the dart posts. There we go, popping that off. Looks like there are seals to each one of these barrels, which is kind of a nice feature. That means it's got a pretty good air seal at that point. And what I'm going to go ahead and try to do is I'm going to go ahead and try to see if I can't pop off these barrel posts. Let's see what the best way to do that is. Okay, as you can see from this aftermath of red, I've gone ahead and done a lot of cleaning up on the barrels here. And as you can see here, they're nice clean holes that go right on through with a tight fit for elite darts. There we go. I left one in place here so I can show you what I did to take them off in case you find one of these in store and would like to modify it as well. So you can just kind of drill through it there. What I ended up doing actually was kind of just twisting this around and kind of causing little breaks in the plastic back there, and just continually twisting it and rotating it vigorously until it felt really loose. You can see it breaking that plastic. I'm taking my needle nose pliers, getting a good hold there, twisting and pulling until this comes off, until I'm left with just a little bit of that plastic on the side. Then I took my drill bit, 9/16, and fit it in there until there was practically nothing left. not to go all the way through, or else I would create a hole like I did in one of these barrels, which I have to fix with some hot glue, and then kind of just sanding down the burrs left by the drill, and really creating a nice smooth opening all the way through. Okay, everything's all cleaned up and plugged up to the best of my ability, and so we're going to go ahead and put everything back together. This seems to only go in one specific way, so you kind of just need to find that one way, which I did right the first time there. And then we go ahead and put this back onto our barrel, lining up the screw ports. Let's see here. This way. So these two holes right here go with the screw ports there. And kind of just line it up. There we go. So I'll go ahead and put that aside. Let me take a look at this plunger tube. Very much so Maverick style plunger tube. Air seal is actually pretty good as is, so I'm not going to do anything to that. I think all I've got now is to kind of put everything back together. Alright, and we've put everything back together. I've gone ahead and cut the other half of this Ace spring and put it in there, sized it up. I think I've got it about right. Pretty tough compression there. Hopefully the catch will work for it. We'll find out when we put everything together. So this is the blaster as is. Plunger tube, everything back together, doubled up spring. That's been cleared out, so we're going to go ahead and... Okay, so we've got everything all put back together. I've already been test firing this a little bit, and I've noticed that all except for one of the barrels is firing out just fine. Some better performing than others. Probably needs a little bit more cleanup work in that regard. The one barrel that isn't shooting out at all is, I'm pretty sure I know which one it is. The first one that I was working on, I drilled a little bit too far and caused some breaks in the plastic, and I tried to seal it up with some hot glue. I think I got most of it, but there's probably still a leak that I haven't plugged just yet. So we're going to go ahead and load these up. And as you can see now, they're fitting into the barrels here, and they're not interfering at all. And we're going to go ahead and give it a test shot. If it's one that doesn't fire, that would be the bad barrel. So here we go. Good. 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 And I'm pretty sure I'll run into that bad barrel here in a second. Unless I just happen to skip it. That was a weaker one. There it is. There's that bad barrel. So that one I need to adjust the seal on, find out where the gaps are. Next one. Good. Awesome. Well, I've taken this rather crappy blaster that was shooting about 2 feet, and I've turned it into something that's hitting, depending on the barrel, sometimes is 15 feet, sometimes over like about 20, almost 22 feet or so, except for that one barrel that obviously the dart isn't escaping out of. So that being said, I think it's fairly successful. I'm probably going to take this apart, clean that up some more, and improve that seal at the bottom there. And then that's about it. As you know, I doubled up the spring, and that's giving it a little bit of a power boost. But this is still a reverse plunger blaster, so this is about the best that we can do out of a Maverick style reverse plunger blaster. Thanks for watching, guys, and hope you enjoyed it. Have a good one. Okay guys, I couldn't leave this well enough alone with an incomplete project with one barrel not firing, so I've taken this apart probably 4 times since signing off, reworking how to get the air seal to be much better, and I've finally gotten it to a point where everything fires, and everything fires fairly consistently. So we're going to do a quick firing demonstration. Here we go. All 6 fired. Definitely better than Maverick performance at this point. So I am finally satisfied with the performance of this Captain America, Brigade, Avengers, Hasbro. Could have been better out of the box, but didn't do it right the first time. Now it's better souped up with the Super Soldier Serum. There we go. That's it. Good night.